Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Yeah, it's been a super long time since I've recorded really any videos. I've just mainly been doing live streams, and I haven't had time to sit and edit, and I've been doing the live streams because I don't really have to edit them. I make a thumbnail, and that's about it. So it's just me being lazy. But in this video, we are finally doing a review of Final Fantasy VII Remake. I kind of was doing like episode ones, and then I got stuck, and I didn't want to do live streams of me just being stuck. So I went ahead and I just did it all and finished it, and now I have my review. So yeah, Final Fantasy VII. Oh my, I can't even talk as normal, but this is the first game that I've played that was Final Fantasy. First Final Fantasy game. Not necessarily my first Square Enix game, as technically my first Square Enix game was, people are revving their engines outside, was Kingdom Hearts 3.
This might be a good spot to find some ingredients.
And I did enjoy that one, not as much as Final Fantasy VII. So some of the things that I really liked. Okay, so first off, this game, from what I understand, has been broken up into a few different parts. I want to say 3, but I could totally be wrong. But this game only covers like the first section of Midgar. It's the place that we're in. And I never played the original. It looks like this, very old. It came out in, I think, 1994 or 1995, one of those ones. It's basically as old as I am. But yeah, never played it, and so this is literally like when they say remake, like they literally remade the entire game. The first Final Fantasy game that I've been introduced to, this was I shouldn't say by far, but by far my favorite. I can't really say that because I've only played this one. But at first, it was very difficult for me to understand the new combat system. Like in Materia, first of all, I had no idea how to use Materia. I was so confused. I was putting it in wrong spots. I didn't find out till like halfway through the game that if you put the elemental Materia in like your weapons, like you can actually get like fire to come up on your sword or ice, lightning, stuff like that. And I had no idea. I literally had no idea how to do like anything. And also I didn't upgrade my weapon for the longest time. That's why I was getting stuck, and I kind of quit doing the live streams on them because I didn't want to do a whole live stream of me just dying over and over again. I was talking to a buddy and I'm like, dude, I cannot get past this one part. I'm literally stuck. And it was, where was I stuck? Oh, it was the Toad King or something like that. I'll see if I have a video on it. I'll throw it up here, but it's not even, the fight wasn't even, I mean, I kept dying over and over again, and I couldn't figure out why I was just losing, because it was just a simple side mission. It wasn't even part of the main story or whatever. And then one day I was just going through, and I was so stuck, but I didn't want to give up because I had enjoyed the game up until that point. There's a few, hang-ups here and there, and so I was like, looking at something, and it was a YouTube video, and it was talking about like Materia, and I saw the sword, and that his sword power or his attack power was like way higher than mine, and I was so confused. So I like looked it up, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I literally haven't upgraded my weapon at all. I think I upgraded it one time because as part of like the tutorial that it does, it like makes you want to, like, shows you like, hey, this is how you level up. But for some reason, like, I just forgot, like, at all. So like literally all my weapons had tons of things that can be leveled up, like different added new slots, everything. And I hadn't leveled up at all. So I leveled up, and then I was able to just kind of cruise through the rest of the game. No problem, actually. It wasn't too hard. There's a few, like I said, few things that still were a little bit difficult, but overall I didn't think it was that difficult. The story was fantastic. I freaking loved the story. Cloud, I mean, I knew Cloud from like the Smash Bros games, and then I knew Cloud from a little bit from Kingdom Hearts. But anyway, man, the story was freaking fantastic. I loved it so much. Some characters that I didn't necessarily like at the beginning ended up being some of my more favorite characters, like Barrett for some reason. I did not like Barrett at all at the beginning. I just thought he was an annoying character. But then by the end of the game, he's literally one of my favorite characters, and I thought he died for a moment, and I was like, dude, what the heck? Barrett's dead? And so like I've said, I've never played the original Final Fantasy game, but I was talking to a friend who has, and I guess they changed some things, but not other things. So like I guess this is like more of like a Final Fantasy reimagined, I guess, because they do change core things that happen in the other one. Like friggin' Biggs, I thought Biggs was friggin' dead, but apparently Biggs is not dead. So does that mean Jesse is dead? I don't know. It's rated T, so obviously when they got shot up by bullets, it's not going to show blood or anything, but they totally got shot up by bullets, and I'm like, how are you not dead, Biggs? Like, you literally just got... I don't know. And then freaking Barrett got stabbed all the way through the back of the chest. I mean, I guess the ghost dude, I forget what they're called, saved him. Anyways, another thing that I super enjoyed was the combat. Once I figured it out, it was really fun. I got really good at like switching out, and I was watching like the little ATB bars and was able to switch out between the different characters, and yeah, it turned out great. Some of the things that I didn't like, okay, let me say, most of the boss fights in this game were freaking fun. I loved most of them. Loved most of them. Most of the like human type fights, like when you fight Rude, and when you fight, shoot, what's his name? He's got the red hair. I'm drawing a blank. I'm sure it'll come to me. But when you fight those two, or even when you fight the president's son, like all those fights were super fun, especially the end where you fight Sephiroth. Hands down, the best fight in the entire game. Granted, it was the last one, so of course it's going to be the best one, but the whole ending was just freaking fantastic. We'll get to that in a second. But yeah, the only boss fights that I did not enjoy were all the robot fights. Literally, like the big robot fights, like the Airbuster, I guess kind of the Scorpion at the beginning. The Scorpion at the beginning actually wasn't too bad, but yeah, the Airbuster, freaking, I did not enjoy the Airbuster fight at all. Oh yeah, the one at the end where you're on the road and you literally just can slash like the tires and stuff. And it was weird because Cloud couldn't hit from the right side, like on the right side. So like if you were on the right side and you're slashing your sword, you're just missing. So and I don't know if it was a glitch on my end or what, but I just could not hit him. So I always had to hit on that one specific side, and it was just a super long fight. I felt like it was at least like 15 minutes. It was long, especially since I died quite a few times trying to figure out how to destroy this thing. But yeah, most of the robot fights, man, I just was not a fan of. But yeah, like all the other fights were freaking fun. Freaking fantastic. Man, I'm drawing a blank on what's his name. I know the bald guy's Rude, and what is the other dude's name? Anyways, he was fun. He had like the nightstick with lightning and stuff. Like, freaking fun, freaking fantastic. Another thing that I super enjoyed was like the weapons. Like literally each character gets like 6 weapons, I believe. And they were all like, for the most part, they're all pretty cool. They all had different like stats. So it's like, depending on how you wanted to play, you had different weapons. So you had ones that were just gave out like tons of raw damage. Like Tifa, for instance, had like the metal knuckles. It just did a ton of damage, but that's all it really was. It was just high physical damage. It had real like no, materia slots. It didn't really have very much defense. It didn't have very much magic. So things like that. So you kind of sacrifice that. There's a few that were like a happy medium, like Cloud, the Airbuster, or not Airbuster, the Buster Sword. The Buster Sword I felt like was kind of a happy medium, because then you had the, was it the Hone Edge or something like that? Hard Edge? Something like that. and that one did a ton of physical damage, but it kind of lacked in everything else. And I did use that for a few times, few challenges, just to get a ton of damage in. Oh yeah, I remember the other robot fight that I didn't understand. The freaking house, man. It was weird. I enjoyed that fight because I was not expecting to be fighting a house. But it was still a robot, and it was at that point where I was still kind of figuring out like materia and whatnot. And that's when this fight, the house fight, was the one that I found out that if you had used fire and it wasn't weak to fire, you actually healed it. And I had no idea. And apparently that can happen to you too. Like if you equip a certain materia, like if the person attacking you does a lot of fire damage and you hook a fire materia to your belt or whatever, it actually will heal you. I had no idea that was even a thing till like the end of the game. But I did find out when fighting the house that, because I didn't know you could do that to yourself, but I know that you could do that, accidentally heal other things with the house, because I can't remember if the house was weak to fire, but I just remember fighting it and I was like, dude, what the F? I'm attacking it, but its health is actually going up. I was just like, no. So, but once I figured it out, fight was fun. The ending, let's go to the ending, man. The ending was freaking awesome. Fighting like the Arbiters of Fate, that was But then you get to fight Sephiroth, and that was a freaking awesome fight. I freaking loved Sephiroth's story. And I'm super, like, I have lots of questions, but the things I have questions on are like some of the things that they changed. When I was talking to some of my buddies, like, hey, what does this mean? What does this mean? And they're like, dude, I don't know, man. That's some of the new stuff that they put in. So who knows what's gonna happen? Because I don't know. I am so pumped for when they drop the next couple of them. I want to say that they divided it into 3 parts. Few other things that I didn't quite like. Like, I wasn't really a fan of Cloud wearing a dress. I was like, the heck is this? Some people, I guess, liked it. And maybe I also didn't really like it is because I was trying to trophy hunt at the same time. And so I literally had to do chapter 8 and 9. I think chapter 9's with the dresses. Like the 3 different chapters that you have to do to get all the dresses. There's like 9 dresses, 3 for Tifa, 3 for Aerith, and 3 for Cloud. And so I literally had to do those and accidentally messed up. So I had to do one of them. I had to do chapter 9 4 times because I had messed up and Tifa wore like the same dress twice or something like that. And so I was just done with dancing with What's His Bucket and the Honeybee Inn, and I was done with Cloud wearing dresses. Cloud didn't even like wearing the dresses. He's just like, let's not talk about this ever. Another thing that I did and didn't like were the side quests. Some of the side quests were really fun and got you cool stuff. I think you got some materia from some and even some weapons from another. And some side quests were just kind of stupid. Like, I think they just literally threw that in there just to... I don't know. I almost felt like when the developers made some of this, they were just doing it to laugh at us. Like this side quest here with doing like finding this girl's cats. Literally Cloud says like, this is stupid. This is a waste of time. And I kind of felt like that was like the devs like laughing like, yes, this side quest is a waste of time, but if you want to get the cool stuff, this is what you got to do. Another thing that I thought was super, super awesome were summons, man. I wish that you could just summon each time, but I guess you only get to summon when the AI of the game thinks that you're struggling. But some of the summons were freaking awesome. I ended up getting all of them. The coolest one by far, I want to say his Behemoth? Hold on, I'm Googling it because I can't actually remember his name. So FF7 Bahamut? He basically looked like freaking Blue Eyes White Dragon from Yu-Gi-Oh! Man, I'm not even joking. He wasn't as white, like he was definitely like more of like a blackish blue, but he was freaking awesome. I freaking loved it. Ifrit, awesome. Leviathan, Shiva, Chocobo, all those ones. I freaking love the summons. I wish that I could use those like all the time. So yeah, overall, this was my first Final Fantasy game. Overall, I freaking loved it. I'm currently, I don't know if I want to get the platinum for it eventually, but I've been kind of flipping between some other games. Currently playing The Witcher 3 because I'm super behind on playing lots of things. But if I were to give this one my review for it, dude, I don't know. I personally really love this game. I'd give it a 9.5. It introduced me to Final Fantasy, which I haven't played any of the other ones before, and I'm definitely looking forward to the next chapters of this and even Final Fantasy 16. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Thanks for tuning into my review. If you guys enjoyed the content, please consider being a subscriber. And if you're watching this and you're already a subscriber, you're freaking awesome, and we'll see you guys next time.